Hey everyone, ever done something you didn't like? I haven't, get bent. Video games today are more popular than ever. When asked how popular, one expert says very. It's an exciting medium, not to mention profitable, and with improving technology in recent years, everyone from massive corporations to random guys have tried their hands at game development. And with such popularity, naturally more and more and more games are produced. We now have all sorts of games spanning more genres than I can count. There's some real fantastic experiences to be had. But unfortunately, whenever enough of something's made, you're bound to get a bad one. Why else would they stop at 3 Jonas Brothers? That's the thing though, bad games inevitably release every single year, and I've played my fair share of half-baked, uninspired games. Just look at Pokemon Sword and Shield. These were my most anticipated games for years. I was so excited to finally have Pokemon on the Switch, and when they finally released, we got rushed, unoriginal, monotonous games with stale gameplay and a nonsense story. I'd give it like an 8 probably. Why can I not be critical of games? It's not like I'm some blind fan who goes, eh. Oh! No, in fact, I make an effort to think critically about the things I play and try to form my own original opinion. Yet no matter how hard I try, I can't get this off. It's a strange thing. I can play a game, be aware of its significant flaws, and even be personally disappointed in many of its elements, then somehow still find myself saying it's good. That's not to say I think all games should be praised. I mean, games get criticized upon release now more than ever, and in many cases that's justified. But on a personal level, I regularly wind up looking past a game's mistakes and coming to its defense, even when I didn't enjoy it all that much. And after thinking about this a lot, I think there's a few reasons why this happens. The first and cheesiest reason why I think every game I play is good can be boiled down to what I'm gonna call brutal optimism. I like to think of myself as an optimistic person. I always believe my favorite team is gonna win their next game. Oh, and this glass is at least half full, I fucking swear. And this optimism carries over when I play games. Whenever I've decided to try out something new, I try to look for the positives. What compels me to keep playing? What makes Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition beautiful? And when I'm focused on a game's redeeming factors, I can pretty much always find some way to say the game is good. Like, I won't completely blind myself from a game's flaws, but the fact is I've never played a game that's just completely and utterly worthless. Even the worst games out there usually have at least one good idea buried in there somewhere, and when you're excessively optimistic about things, it's not too hard to find something to be positive about. Like, that game wasn't great and didn't really live up to my expectations, but it did have Yoshi in it. Being positive on its own isn't enough to convince me of something's value, though. I'm an optimist, that doesn't mean I'm a big wet sock fan. In fact, I think possibly the biggest reason I like every game I play is that for some reason, I feel like I have to justify the time I spend with each one. I want to feel like my time investment is valid, because every me knows there's nothing me hates more than wasting me's time, just ask your resident me. So in order to rationalize the time I've invested into each game, I look for the positives even more than before. I try to appreciate at least some aspect of the game so it doesn't feel like I've just thrown my time away. And there's a flaw in that logic somewhere, because it's not a waste of time to play something you don't enjoy. I actually think it's important to expose yourself to different genres and delve into games you might not love. That way you can figure out what you like and don't like and gain some understanding and appreciation of the games outside your comfort zone. But annoyingly, to my brain that isn't enough. I need to fully come to appreciate every game I've picked up because God forbid I didn't enjoy ARMS. I have a similar attitude when it comes to other media like movies and albums. However, there's something about the interactivity of video games that makes it even harder for me to dislike them. With games, I am actively engaged with the content. I'm choosing to participate in it, and in the vast majority of cases, I'm able to find some way to have fun with it, even if it's an unintended way. Like sure, you can throw on a movie in the background and it can be boring, whatever. But games 1 require more of your attention, and 3 empower you to control what happens, at least to some extent. So when you are fully engaged and interacting with the medium, I'd say you're more likely to find something worthwhile and craft an experience you can appreciate, compared to if you're just half watching iCarly or something. It's kinda funny, people like to rag on game reviewers for giving bad games 7 out of 10, but to me it's easy to go repetitive gameplay, unsatisfying combat, lackluster story, masterpiece. I get the frustration with reviewers who sell out or just give games high scores so the publisher won't get mad at them, and that's warranted. But is it bad that sometimes I see a review with an obnoxiously high score that does not match what they're saying at all and go, yeah, I get that. I really make an effort to thoroughly enjoy and appreciate everything I play, and while that isn't a bad thing, it creates an interesting dilemma, because I do want to get the best experience possible out of these games and understand their appeal, but there's also nothing wrong with critiquing a developer's mistakes or admitting that this kind of game just isn't your thing. It's all just this crazy balancing act between appreciating what a game has to offer and giving valid criticism. So where should I draw the line? Is it even possible to fully appreciate a game without loving it? I knew I saved this for something. Clearly you don't have to enjoy everything you do in life. A game might be critically acclaimed, a masterpiece of design, but that doesn't mean it's fun to you. And that goes the other way too. A game could be flawed beyond compared, but chances are there's some value in it. And if you can see that and appreciate it for all it's worth, then props to you. You can have both valid criticism and genuine appreciation for a game, and while you might walk away from an experience feeling unsatisfied or disappointed, that doesn't mean you didn't try hard enough to like it. You can get that full experience, enjoy several of a game's aspects, and be glad you played till the end, but that doesn't mean you have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's not like your IGN. The important thing is to be open to different experiences. Some of my favorite gaming memories have come from unexpected places, but no game is perfect. And if you stumble across a game's mistakes, there's nothing wrong with being critical. Oh! You know what? Actually, this isn't that good. 5 out of 10.